winning that, becoming the most talked about team in the world, talked about Halo team in the world, in a matter of moments. However, like you said, dropped to the elimination bracket instead, where they'll have a long road, but you got to think, they got to have their heads held high.
Oh, sure. They're going to be full of confidence. On the other side of things, we have XSET. Now, they didn't have the best of results in comparison, that 3-0 loss to Sentinels, but maybe that could be forgotten about in a few moments' time. We're ready for our map number 1 here. We're going to Bazaar. A little bit of capture the flag to get us underway here. XSET, Fnatic. Let's get into this one.
And as you heard about on the desk, so far Fnatic leading not only in terms of their performance this weekend, in terms of how impressed we've been, but also in the scrim results between these two teams. So XSET is going to have to pull out something special if they want to take them down.
They certainly are. And XSET lost this game, we have to say, earlier against Sentinels in a 5-0 fashion. So they're going to have to tighten up their game a little bit more from what we saw earlier. But off the break here, no surprise to see Fnatic getting the better of them. 3 players fall for XSET, and it'll be the man on your screen, Suspector, last man standing.
Yeah, and he's getting collapsed on big time. Juziro is a man who wastes no time, and he's also not going to get Ninja back-whacked with that overshield either.
Juziro now moving in as well. He's got the commando in his hands. Trying to push forward here. See if he can pick up some of these spawners. You can see that it's going to be his teammate in position as well to try and pick up some kills. However, the rocket launchers are going to be exchanging kills, unfortunately. 2 dead here for Fnatic, 3 dead for XSET, so it's going to give an opportunity maybe for Fnatic to at least get this flag halfway across the map.
That's right, we'll get those face cams fixed to you as well. As you can see, we got Juziro on your screen here, not his camera in picture though. We'll get those swapped over to be the correct players. 2 dead right now for the side of Fnatic momentarily, and they'll reset just a bit.
Here's Envore then. He's behind enemy lines. He's got a mangler in his hands. He's trying to wrap behind these players who are in the treehouse. He isn't going to touch that flag so that he can be the ghost in the night. But he's been spotted out here. Manages to juke out the rocket though, and maybe just a little bit of a graze to the shin, but it's not going to cost him his life.
That's right now. It's going to be Suspector coming down. Very nice drop of the mangler for Oddball.
3 dead there for XSET as well. That is not just an important kill, an impressive kill, but it opens the map here. 3 players fall. Envore now in position to get this flag moving. It's across the halfway mark. And look at this, SuperCC with another kill off of a respawner. Artic trying to overextend here for XSET. It's going to take them a little bit of time and a bit of work to get this one home.
Great play from Envore there. Burns the last frag. Also grabs both dynamos. Tries to get through the double doors, but he does get stopped here. So still 2 dead for Fnatic. They need to play this very carefully.
They certainly do. Here's Cratos though. Lands the punch onto the top of the head, which is certainly going to compress that player back into the respawn screen. Cratos now moving forward to watch those spawns coming in on the elbows. Sceptify's going to be there as well. Sceptify in a 1v1 and wins it against Cratos, but where's that flag? Is it past halfway? It looks like XSET have answered back here with some movement on the flag, and they've also managed to pick up an overshield.
Yeah, Sceptify needs to be careful here. As you can see, he's trying to get angles on the double door, but not going to be easy with that overshield in play.
SuperCC picks up 1. Suspector trades it out though. There's a player being sneaky in the corner, but at the moment, the flag is still down on that halfway mark, and it looks like Fnatic have managed to fight their way out of this situation. The return comes in. They've also managed to get a flag moving as well, and if they can pick up these kills, they might be able to force this one down through the trenches.
Still 2 dead. Last 2 dead, or last 2, excuse me, are pushing out rocket side. 1 did go front door. He will get taken down. This flag should go home.
Yeah, it should be. Sceptify just has to play his life here. Just has to wait for those players to funnel in, play for those rockets, and it is going to be Fnatic with the counter cap. Juziro will be the man to put it in. Fnatic strike first. They're up by 1.
Look at that patience from Sceptify as well. Take a look. He spawns in pillars and bottom rockets. He gets an angle on rockets, sits double doors for a second. It'd be so easy in that situation to overextend. Instead, he just takes time, takes the patience. Same with Juziro here now on his double door as well.
Suspector going to be challenging. Another player going to be pushing through the double doors as the distraction was there from Suspector up on that high ground. Now it's Suppress moving in, Sceptify in a 1v1 again, and it'll be, again, Fnatic winning the 1v1. That's been a theme so far in this game.
It certainly has, and with the talk that we've seen from the side of XSET, specifically Cratos, we're going to need to see them winning those big 1v1s. They can be game deciding and often series deciding, especially in a game like Halo Infinite. Cratos, they're able to make use of that first rocket.
Yeah, certainly going to be an easy way to win a 1v1 is to have the rockets in your hand. Can't quite connect this time with the second rocket, but the damage was done, and now the grapple shot being put to use as well. An opening on the map here for XSET. As you'll see, Cratos trying to get aggressive now, pushing forward, but he's going to run into 2 Fnatic players here who double up inside of the bar.
Yeah, try to make something happen. Not always an easy push, and so often that push into bar is a blind one. You don't exactly know what you're coming into. It's very rare that your team has an angle into bar, say from the flag, where you know exactly how many players are in there or how many are weak, so not an easy decision.
One thing that's good, though, from that play from Cratos is created space on the map, the middle of the map, because that means the overshield is going to be pocketed by his teammate here, Artic. So even though Cratos may not have got the kills he wanted inside of the bar, those players could not push past the balcony, which means we find ourselves in the best position that we do with Artic with the overshield.
Nice plays here from the side of Artic. Oh, and he even nopes out. Very nice look at the amount of health remaining there. And it drops, I don't know, he had a get out of jail free card, used it, and then came right back into jail and found himself in a whole lot of trouble. So things will slow down and reset at mid-map.
He's an honest
Once
man.
again.
Honest
He's
man.
a very honest man. Okay, I did it.
Going to be trapped inside of the hut. Suppressed is going to be trying to fight him in this 1v1. It's an awful angle that you have to try and poke, but he's going to have a teammate there to work with as well. SuperCC is going to have to back up as Suppressed is looking to pressure onto the Fnatic side of the base. At the moment, XSET are controlling middle map, you would say, but they haven't managed to cross that balcony line, which is so vital to do.
Yeah, XSET has started to really change the course of this game. I think after the first few minutes of play, people were thinking this could be pretty one-sided in terms of Fnatic, but instead they've decided to put a little bit of pressure on, but like you say, they haven't gotten to that final third just yet.
That's going to be Sceptify moving in through the treehouse, and he's got a little bit of assistance as well in the form of Envore. Cratos is going to be caught out on the back of the base. Just to survive for now. Suppressed is going to be inside of the bar, and now Envore is saying, hey, bait me, buddy. Bait me, buddy. See if we can get Cratos to bite on this one. He does, and it's perfect teamwork coming in from Fnatic. A killing spree popping up on your screen as well. 3 dead for XSET. Fnatic with a chance to strike again as Envore is slaying his way back with the objective in hand.
I was going to say that's the one kill he had to worry about. It was still Suppressed, it was still alive, and he manages to get there. But I love this play from Envore. This guy is becoming a household name and a fan favorite very quickly over the course of this weekend. If you didn't know his name, now you do. And I like this play, just going to slow play this with his teammates, try to make sure he maintains map control.
Oh, it's a big challenge from Envore. He gets the second beat down as well. I'm pretty sure the overextenders have been taken care of as well. Fnatic in position to put this flag home. Even with the overshield being picked up, it's actually going to be Artic who manages to do something magical there to get that return. I think that was a bit of a misplay actually coming in from Fnatic.
It is, especially when they had control of their enemies' double doors like that. When you have control of the bottom mid and your enemy's front doors, really should not allow that overshield grab to come through. A little bit of sneaky plays there coming in from the side of XSET.
Yeah, it just seemed like maybe a little bit of over-concentration on those slays coming in from Fnatic there. Nobody taking responsibility to take that little half a second to step back, recognize map situation, get the touch on the flag and get that one past their own double doors to maybe put that cap on. But will they be in position to regret that, or will they be able to maybe make the most of this situation as Fnatic now have another flag on the run? Suspector could be trying to shut it down.
2 dead for Fnatic when they started that run, so they got it far. They got it all the way out to tree, but surprising to see them get the flag as far as they did. But clearly understanding the numbers on the map and where everyone was, and look at Suspector gets away from the nade, but not from Envore.
SuperCC picks up one. Also picks up the flag, manages to get past Market as well. Cratos with a well-placed frag grenade, though, is going to take him down. 2 dead per side at the moment. Juziro is now going to try and stop Cratos on the return. He manages to do so. He opens up the map. He gets the flag through the double doors. He's got a teammate there as well. But Fnatic maybe a little bit guilty here of just stacking up on top of each other.
Yeah, certainly bad comms there. 2 players diving on the flag in a place like double doors. That can only spell one thing. It's a disaster. Actually, 2 things. And a flag return as well. Suspector's going to bring that flag home. And like you said, a little bit of miscommunication. You do not want to send 2 players onto that flag. They both got naded by the same nades. It's big AoE damage from those nades, and it ended the flag run.
We've been very complimentary of the way that Fnatic have been playing today, understandably so, but that's 2 big mistakes they've made. This should arguably be at least 2-0 in this game, maybe even 3-0 with the opportunities they've had to put that second and third flag in, but it's still just the one. XSET will know that. XSET will want to take advantage of that. 1 flag for them, and we've got a tight game.
Gotta give a shout out here to Sceptify, a player we don't talk enough about here on the main stage, and he is 60-12 in this game right now, and so far certainly a big contributor to that 1 flag lead, but still a lot of game to play left here on set.
Overshield picked up here by Juziro. Not the first time we've seen him with that power up in his hands. Suppressed, a little shoulder peek, bottom middle, but teammate's going to be there, Envore, to make sure that he isn't too much of a thorn in the side. Juziro now just taking his time, checking his corners, because we know the boogeyman is usually hiding there for that cheeky little back smack that does come in, but now just waiting for his teammates. I like this from Juziro. It's so easy sometimes just to step through that treehouse, try and get a little bit over-aggressive without your teammates being there.
Kratos now Mangler and Dynamos. He's got all the tools in the toolbox. Also getting some good damage and some ticks that you hear in the audio feed as well. Cratos is trying to make this happen, trying to force it. Very good shots against Juziro.
Yeah, had to win that 1v1 because it's now opened up the map. They have an opportunity to pull here, XSET, but they have to play this perfectly. They have to get the kills that they need to do in the right areas of the map here, because XSET have lost 2 players. I like this decision making here from Cratos, recognizing numbers aren't in their favor. So had to try and stall to wait for something else to happen, a lane to open on the map. Unfortunately for XSET, it did not.
Credit to Juziro. He falls once, but guess what? Spawns bottom rocket side. He has a chance to challenge Cratos in a 1v1 again. That just shows you how unique the engagements are on this map. Juziro will also get that return. Fly goes back home.
Sceptify with the rockets. Doesn't get the kill, though. It's going to be Artic who's inside of the bar and now has a rocket to play with as well. This is the first time we've seen a really nice setup opportunity for XSET inside of the base with a power weapon. Suppress picks up one on Juziro. Now Sceptify's going to be in the back of the base. Artic's going to try and do the math to make that rocket land, but he can't quite get the kill. And that's just stalling here for XSET, and that's going to maybe allow some rotations to come back to that flag, but Fnatic now 3 players full. Artic senses this is an opportunity to step forward and has that flag moving through the bar.
Yeah, probably going to go rocket side. We'll see exactly how, if he goes low, presumably based on what he's got. I like this, though, decides to drop and shoot, but his team is going to have to do some work mid-map.
Envore has the overshield, though, so he has the chance to cut off this lane. And cut off the players who are going to go for the touch on that flag. Suppressed is there, but he gets taken down. Not without dropping some damage, though. Another kill comes in after the beatdown lads from Envore. 2 dead here for Fnatic, but on the same wave, you have to say, 2 dead's better than 4, and that was exactly what XSET were.
It is. That's a perfect play. Once again from Envore, he gets the 2 dead. The flag returns behind that. XSET knew they had to drop and shoot on that flag run. You have to wonder if they maybe got that flag a little bit further. He dropped and decided to drop and shoot and actually loop back to the enemy base. Instead, you can maybe just go bottom rockets and slay rather than trying to loop back to your enemy base. Envore able to pick up a double on the other side of the map.
1 minute and 10 seconds left in this game then for XSET to finally get that flag past the halfway mark and maybe look to tie up this game. It's still a fragile lead here for Fnatic, but a fragile lead is still a lead. We're inside the last 60 seconds of this game with Envore, Juziro and SuperCC's position. This is going to be a tough push here, but that 1 grenade and a little bit of battle rifle work from Artic might give them that opportunity to get across the map.
It's a 2v2 here. They need to play this very carefully. Fnatic only with 2 players here, but also on the same side, XSET only with 2 players to start this aggression, to start this push. So now only 38 seconds on the clock, not much time to work with.
Cratos is the man to watch here. A trade inside of the hut isn't going to do much for either team. Juziro, that's a big 1v1. Cratos was the furthest player up on the map here for XSET. And with 25 or so seconds left, Fnatic take that player out, which means they have a little bit of space to play with.
Juziro just going to spidey up, like you said, 20 seconds. They're just going to hold the enemy bridge, and it doesn't look like there's going to be a touch here.
Just using that Mangler just to break shields, to break some hearts here. XSET, but suppressed with that thrust, will at least pick up 1 kill. 8 seconds left, but look at this. The Suspector has managed to become a Spectre, to get behind enemy lines and get that flag moving. 1 second left on the clock, and XSET are somehow still alive in this game.
Oh my, flag will go down, so keep an eye on that chart bottom middle. Sceptify is going to jump on it. There's someone there, though, for a touch. It's suppressed, somehow gets a touch as well. Envore should lock this down, though.
He should, though, but Artic's on the flank. It's a matter of timing here. Can he get the kill? Can he get the touch? Cratos picks up another one. Artic has the overshield in his hands, and somehow XSET look like they're going to cap the flag.
They're going to get this. That was 4 dead. You saw all the X's. 3 dead again. This flag is going to go home, and that flag will go in, and we are going to overtime. And guess what? I will eat my words. We did not think a pull was going to be possible. Who else but Suspector to pull out that flag?
That was seconds. I think it was 2, 3, 4 seconds maybe left on the clock.
And he had to win the 1v1 on the flag.
Won the 1v1, like you say, and gets that flag moving, but Fnatic are going to be kicking themselves if they don't manage to take this first map home. 3 dead here for XSET off the break. Fnatic with rockets in hand, and I'm sure a little bit of a bad attitude alongside it as well.
And you have to wonder with how pushed up Fnatic was if they also thought that a touch was not going to happen. We'll get back to that, though. We got to get on board with this push here. Nice work from Sceptify.
Zero's got the overshield. 1 falls on the respawn as well. All the other players here from XSET trapped in the base. If they play this one well, this might be an opportunity to get that flag moving. Suppressed is below Sceptify here, but he gets taken down as well. So Fnatic with the perfect opening strategy. Suspector picks up 1 with that Bulldog, so the opening strats worked, but what's the second part of this push going to look like?
Envore is crazy, just flies in there with the thrust. He gets taken down by the Bulldog with Suspector, so they're going to need to slay just a little bit. Make sure they get Cratos out of their bar if they want to run this flag.
Sceptify picks up 1. Suspector has a little peek over the fence, and the unfriendly neighbor puts the garden hose on him and takes him down. The attempted return does come in, and it gets sent home. So once again, Fnatic, they had an opportunity.
Yeah.
They do the first part so well, but as we know here on Bazaar, one part of a flag run isn't enough.
Right.
You have to put both parts together.
It is, and oftentimes it's 3 or 4 parts when you're talking about Bazaar CTF. So they're getting those flag poles, they're getting it either on the bridge or they're getting bottom middle, but after that, the slays are a bit difficult for them. We'll have to see what they can do in overtime. Juziro picks another kill on Suspector.
Cratos manages to clean it up though, so with no damage done, no harm, no foul. Cratos manages to rotate back and make sure that player wasn't too much of an impact. Sceptify now inside of the hut's going to take a beat down and lose that battle as well. Cratos not for the first time, starting to win a few battles here on Bazaar. Finally gets taken down. That's a double kill coming in from Sceptify as well. Suspector's going to be weak. Sceptify's going to challenge for this triple, but SuperCC is going to be there. That's 3 dead for XSET. Artic, I think, it just come off the respawn as well. No, he's trapped in the hut. So all other players right in the back of the base.
Like you said, each of these teams really having to work very hard to put those final pieces of the puzzle together on these flag runs. SuperCC, though, finding a very good piece of that puzzle. Kratos there with the Needler, though, against the Overshield. Overshield will win that battle, but SuperCC will find that Overshield melted off. He will also fall. So once again now, 2 dead for the 3 dead. 4 dead, here comes a flagpole.
It was almost as if you started your sentence. Players just kept falling. 4 dead here. Now, Fnatic, we've been here before, my friends. You've got that flag past the halfway mark. Are you able to convert? Can you pick the kills up you need to? 3 players fall for Fnatic. For goodness sake, boys. You've got to get this working a little bit cleaner.
The team shot out of the tree. You thought that flag was home, just like you said. That flag is the furthest flag we've seen in a little while from Fnatic, but the team shot from the BR, also the pressure from Rocket side, that brings the flag back home, and we will stay in overtime.
I mean, XSET, with all due respect, they're making great plays, XSET, but they shouldn't be allowed to make them.
Yeah.
They should not be allowed to make them, but they're being able to do so, which means we're still tied up at 0-0. Juziro now has the rockets in his hands. Once again, a power weapon and a push coming in from Fnatic. Can they get that second part of the flag run working?
Still 1 dead from each side. Don't trade there, I think is what we were all thinking there. You really want to avoid that. The player was 1 shot. That was Cratos. Honestly, it's a great play from Cratos to force that trade in a situation where maybe Juziro could have gotten away without the trade.
All right, time to catch our breath for just a few seconds here. 1 minute 30 left in overtime. SuperCC is going to be throwing a few grenades towards that hut, trying to flush out Suspector. Not going to happen, though, as he's going to be the furthest player up. You can see the rest of his teammates trying to push on the Rocket side. The Mangler in the hands, maybe just a little bit of a warning shot for anyone who wants to push out of the treehouse. To know he's got that Mangler means it's going to be a difficult fight. Sceptify is going to find that. Almost made it work. But Suspector, he puts another +1 to his name.
Suspector's so good with those Mangler drops. He's so efficient. You see the timing that he has on those drops, just ready to hit those shots and save himself just an extra few frames each time now. Less than a minute left in OT.
Overshield this time going to XSET. The first time we've really seen them with this power-up in overtime. Now, can they make the push work? And I worry here for Fnatic, if it's XSET who get the winning flag in this game with everything that's gone their way so far, or the lack of things that have gone the way of XSET, how is that going to carry over into their mentality? Envore picks up 2 though, but look at this. Now you're seeing Suspector working with Cratos to get that flag moving.
Envore, though, somehow gets away in the end. Cratos is now they're going to have to get more kills if they want to get this flag out of the hut to the middle of the map.
Cratos picks up 1. Sceptify's trying to wrap back. Flag also moving on the other side of the map through the rocket trenches for Fnatic. So now we have somewhat of a flag standoff. Artic picks up 1. Cratos is looking to pick up the kill on Sceptify as well. But I love this. Recognizing the shields are broken, I might have the timing to get that flag moving. 2-4 for XSET. Juziro's got some work to do. Gets the beat down onto Suspector. 3 dead for XSET.
Yeah, 3 dead here. That is going to be a flag coming back home at any moment here. And they're going to see that one go back right now as a sudden death will go. I think both flags go back home.
Zero's going to make a desperate dash forward, but it's not going to be enough, and we're going to have a tie in our first game. So we get to see some more Bazaar capture the flag in just a few seconds' time. But I tell you what, Andy, we shouldn't be seeing it. I straight up, sometimes you got to call it how I see it, and that should be a Fnatic game on the board. That should be a Fnatic game on the board. The only reason Fnatic do not have a 1-0 series lead is because Fnatic didn't seem to want to win it.
Couldn't agree more. I think there's a little bit of just a lack of coordination on those flag runs because either the flag was dropped or they tried to slay and it didn't work out, or they tried to rush the flag home without watching the right angles. If I had to guess, based on the speed at which we saw Envore bringing the flag up to his own bridge and a tree, probably was not anticipating a hut angle and a tree angle. Instead, maybe thinking the rocket spawns were coming in, they didn't come in. The team shot instead was what flew across and annihilated the flag carrier. So I believe the rules are, we'll wait for the confirmation from League Ops when we go into an OT, because it is quite rare to see another set of OT. I believe it will be first flag wins. We'll wait for confirmation, though, on that exact ruling here as we get into our second batch of Bazaar CTF.
I mean, the thing that always stood out for me on those flag runs from Fnatic, they got a 4 dead, they got the flag through tree, they get it out bottom middle. The first kill, though, after getting a 4 dead, would always go to XSET. That can't happen. Yep. You know where those spawns are coming in. You should always have an angle, and you should never be challenging to a point where you're losing
dying.
The first kill.
Right, you could challenge, you can over-challenge, just don't die. You could just get the damage, but just don't die. Do not be the first death there. That totally breaks apart your entire flag run. Guess what? We're going back in because we are not done yet on Bazaar CTF.
We are going back in indeed. Now, let's see if one of these teams can put a flag run together. The scary thing for Fnatic is we saw how efficient the XSET can be when they get that flag moving. They only need one opportunity to strike. At the moment, it seems like Fnatic need 3 or 4.
See, it looks like free rocket grab already coming in there for the side of Fnatic, even though they were the first one to actually die. So a little bit of a free run there. We do have confirmation from League Ops. It is indeed the first flag will win. We are in sudden death overtime.
2-4 for Fnatic. Artic is going to step forward with that overshield as well. 4 alive here for XSET. They certainly have the numbers, but there's a couple of players who are hiding in the cracks of the base at the moment. Suppress is going to work with Artic, and they're going to get that flag moving. Now, you can see that Artic is wrapping back through double doors here. He has some overshield to work with as well, but Cratos is going to pick up 2 kills bottom middle. The path is clear here for XSET to get that flag back to the base.
Sceptify and SuperCC, they need to be the heroes. They need to stay alive. That's trouble. SuperCC is the only one there on the other side of the map to continue slaying. Somehow, though, they do it.
Somehow, he gets a kill. SuperCC picks up 2. Suspector goes down, and SuperCC, oh, it's Superman. He must have a cape on to make a play like that.
Sceptify and SuperCC, last 2 players alive on Rocket side under pressure, and they do it. They fight out from essentially a brief 1v4, then a 2v4, and that flag goes back home. Don't count your eggs just yet. We are staying here in Bazaar CTF.
Anybody want to win a game of Bazaar capture the flag here in this series? I tell you what, it is going the distance with a capital D here. Suppress now, trying to push onto the player who's going to be down in those trenches. Juziro manages to escape through the double doors just for a second, though. Suspector chases him down. 1 dead per side at the moment. As the map is split, the battle for mid-map control rages on.
My God, and if this game 1 is any indicator of what we have to see this series, I think it's safe to say that this is going to be a pretty wild one. These 2 teams neck and neck, and I got to say, the runs that we're seeing, yes, there's some blunders, but my God, are they ever forcing the best defense out of each of these teams without a doubt.
Well, here comes Fnatic. Once again, stepping forward. Suspector's going to be doubled up on here. Juziro should clean up that kill. Sceptify's going to leave it to his teammate, who does the job indeed. Cratos goes down. Artic's going to be in that difficult battle, and Sceptify's going to win it. 3-4 for XSET. We've been here before, Fnatic. Will it be deja vu, or will it be a game-winning cap?
Let's take a look at those spawners. Already 1 on Rocket side, but the kills do come in. They do get the first kill, and they get the second kill as well. This one should go home.
They just have to deal with the last player alive. Envore goes down. Where is the flag, though? There should be a player in position to pick it up. SuperCC gets through the doors. He's got it into the treehouse, and with that, after a marathon game 1, Fnatic go up 1-0 in the series.
There you go. You see on your screens. I think the players are probably not aware that the match has ended just yet. The station referee will probably come over and let them know.
Please
you
stop
see,
playing.
They're starting to figure it out there. We do need a station referee to let the players know. There you go. The fist pounds do come in once again late there, just because rarely, like we said, do we see a match go all the way into overtime and then another set of overtime where you have to actually restart the match. But that was moments away from a heartbreak for Fnatic because, as you said, Onset, they had the opportunity to close out that game many, many times throughout both of our games.
They certainly did. I think station referee tapping XSET on the shoulders, like, you don't have to play this anymore. I think they would have been pretty happy with it, to be honest with you. It went on for so long. But at the end of the day, it is going to be Fnatic who do have that 1-0 victory, and they do have that series lead here. But it was a crazy game, a crazy game, and I think you summed it up perfectly. It was a little bit disjointed for both teams in different areas, and it was a little bit of a surprise to see it, with all due respect to XSET, of course, from Fnatic, because of the amount of opportunities that they had to correct those mistakes inside of, well, I was going to say 1 game, but 1.5 games.
All of that game 1.
Whatever it was, yeah.
Absolutely. I mean, what we saw there, I think, was amazing displays of defensive 1v4s, 2v4s coming out to stop those flag runs. But I think you also pointed out during the first set of games and the first set of flag runs that we saw just the fact that not every piece was there on those flag runs. We need to see a little bit more coordination because you can scrap together flags. If we take a look at some highlights, you can scrap together flags on Bazaar. You just need to make sure that you're waiting, that you're timing your pushes, timing your team shots, and you can even, if you have 2 players or 3 players alive, you can actually get a flag pretty far across the map if you play the right angles and the right routes.
100%. I think one thing that I was very impressed with by Fnatic, though, and have been impressed with, even when I was watching the Cloud9 series back in the green room a little bit earlier on, is their baiting and switching. And it's such a fundamental of Halo, right? But to do it so well at the highest of levels, it's so noticeable across the map. And we saw that from Fnatic. Every time there was an opportunity to bait, to switch, to keep shields, to pick up those kills, they were just masters of it.
And I think one of the best things to look at there is if you caught the Sentinels match earlier, the way that they played Bazaar CTF, always sending in 2 players, always then sending the 2 players outside of the base, and then understanding the split spawns of how do you kill the players who are spawning versus the players on your rocket side. Very different than what we just saw, right? Just not all players looking in the same direction at the right time on the same page. So in the end, though, Fnatic gets the win. They're going to be relieved, to be honest. I don't even know if they're going to be that excited. It's more of a relief to say, oh, God, this really should have been our game. Some smiles on their faces, though. And like I said,
smile of relief.
Signs of relief, yes, without a doubt.
100%. Well, let's move on from Bazaar. And to be honest with you, I'm quite happy to leave it there for quite some time. Let's go on to our next map then. We're going over to Recharge now for a little bit of straight to 50 kills action. Slayer's going to be our next game type. And this is a map that I was very impressed with by Fnatic when they played Cloud9 a little bit earlier. Yes, it was Oddball, but one thing that, again, that impressed me was the baiting and switching, the covering of crosses, the covering of angles, those fundamentals. Fnatic were superb.
Sceptify right here, 13.2 kills per game on average in Slayer. Pretty great numbers, and it's tough to ask for something more when you talk about averages. Sceptify certainly stepping up, and as you look at this XSET roster, maybe one of the lesser talked about players, and I think already he's shown us that that is not for good reason, and we'll have to see if he and the squad can close this one out.
Yeah, for XSET, I think it's about controlling weapons, which is going to bring them victory in this game number 2. I want to see Suspector with a shock rifle in his hand. I want to see Cratos being annoying with that sword or a mangler in his hands, and just controlling the sandbox is vital, especially on Recharge, where you have certain angles where those weapons are so devastating. Think about taking that sword to pipes. Think about having that sword inside of the control tower, and then in the same way, you've got so many crosses and angles you can hold with that shock rifle. You can make plays. XSET need to control the weapons to control the pace and pick up a W.
Could not agree more. We'll have to see how this opening rush plays out. All eyes on Camo bottom middle as the BR shots will be exchanged. Keeping an eye, it's going to be a very quick grab coming in from the side of XSET. Great pressure from them.
Suppressed is going to get it, but will he get away with it? That's the question. Cratos is there to provide the cover. Managed to keep his teammate alive, so a good play from Cratos to almost sacrifice potentially his life, but he actually gets away with it as well. 2-on-1 now as he finally is going to be taken down in the feed, but a mangler and a camo in the hand is suppressed for XSET. This is an opportunity to rack up kills.
Certainly. Want to see what he does here. Moment of truth. Ah, he gets spotted out! Wow, look at that play coming out of Fnatic. Sending 2 players, Envore and SuperCC. Almost a little bit of a bait there to bait the Camo Mangler player and somehow win that battle. That's massive, and now they take the lead.
Yeah, not sure about that play from Suppressed. It's easy to say in hindsight, but sitting in that corner, you're always vulnerable, right? You're always vulnerable to a grenade, to one person peeking you, and
or to the attic angle.
Exactly. There's a few different things that could have worked against him in that situation. I'm sure that he'll want that play back, but as we know, Suppressed is a new player to the high-level games. Maybe that's something he'll learn from. 9-5 the score now in the favor of Fnatic, and when you consider the fact that Camo went to XSET, that's a little bit of a disappointing start for them.
Let's also not forget, this is the same Fnatic that went to Game 5 with Cloud9 and was leading by about 10 kills in Game number 5. I dare say we haven't seen that yet in terms of how these teams are matching up. We'll have to see if we see the best of Fnatic. We saw it earlier today, and they once again had a chance to be the most talked about team in professional Halo of the day, without a doubt. And right now, they're only lead by 2 kills in this game.
10-8 the score. 2 kills is the lead, though. That's the important thing. Plus, they've got the shock rifle in their hands. SuperCC is going to make Cratos' hair stand up on end as well, as he has to think about his next life in that respawn screen. 11-8. That's the difference that could be made. With a player who can make plays that we've already seen this series.
Oh, tries to go for the jump grapple on Camo. Not an easy angle. I think everyone watching knew that he was trying to tee that up. He has 1 grapple left, so we'll have to see if he goes for it or instead just tries to slay out bottom middle here.
Cratos trying to stay alive. Doesn't get the burn on the camo, I don't think. Or was it activated? No, it was not.
Still might not be activated.
Might not be activated, as you say. Artic and Suppress pick up 2 kills. Envore, last player alive here for Fnatic. XSET looking to collapse onto him. They pick up the kill as well. Fnatic only up by 1 now. Suspector trying desperately to play his life. Sceptify is no shields and might just get taken down. SuperCC is there to clean it up.
Suspector with some very cheeky peeks there. I did not think that Sceptify was able to get that camo burn off before the green gun hit. We'll trust the observers will keep an eye on that as well. If I had to guess based on what we've seen so far, that camo might have been actually burned on the 2-stack.
17-17 then, all tied up. Nobody able to eke out an advantage as we approach that 20 kill mark in this game. Suppress just playing this angle over at top elevator. He's got that Mangler in the back pocket as well, so if anyone wants to poke their head through the door, an uninvited guest, they'll be having it slammed on their nose extremely quickly. Juziro trying to cross towards gold as well. SuperCC trying to make a play up towards the glass, as we are going to see 1 kill fall in the favor of XSET. They squeak into a lead.
Yeah, a little bit of a slowdown here, a little bit of a stalemate as teams are going to just set up on their sides of the map. Only a 1-kill game, and XSET making sure that Fnatic was unable to run away with this. You saw they were down by just a few, but now a 2-point game. They get a 1-point game once again.
Yeah, Envore managed to pick up 3 kills without response before being taken down, but here now is that response in handwritten form coming from XSET. Fnatic managed to get into a lead, but now it's tied up at 20-20.
Suppressed in the same spot with that Mangler. No camo this time, so it might be a little bit harder. Nope, a little bit easier there. He finds Juziro around the corner. All eyes on camo, 8 seconds.
8 seconds till that camo. Yeah, that's why the fighting and the intensity is starting to pick up a little bit here. Envore ain't losing too many battles in this game number 2, though. Every single time I see the kill feed in the corner of my eye, it's Envore, Envore, who picks up another one now, 23-22.
How can you not root for this guy? I mean, this guy's just peaking and challenging and doing everything he needs to. Now taking a look at the numbers as well. The man is 10-6 in a game where his team is up by 1, trying to do it all for the squad.
Trying to keep that player alive bottom middle as well. He picks up another one. Artic gets taken down, but as he gets taken down, he'll be quite happy because all of Fnatic have been taken down as XSET managed to pick up the kills required to give themselves a 2-kill cushion. Now we're going to see that game slow down again here, maybe until that next power-up pops once more.
That's right, of course. One set of people certainly not rooting for the likes of Envore, going to be XSET fans, and they find themselves 1 game down in this series, but also only 1 kill up in this game, so an opportunity to bounce back, and you have to think XSET needs this game if they want to have any chance in this series. It'd be so tough to come back with a reverse sweep against a team like Fnatic, but they've done well to slow this down and once again regain the lead.
I mean, this is being slowed down. You can feel the intensity, the pressure that's on these players in this game. Like we wanted to reiterate, it's not just an elimination game here. If you manage to win this game, when we get to Kansas City, you qualify for pools. If you don't, you're going through the open bracket. So it's almost a double whammy, like we mentioned a little bit earlier. Cratos now looking to put down the hammer with this shock rifle in his hands. Can he hit a few headshots, a few perfects to make that lead a little bit more comfortable?
Yeah, this could blow the game wide open. Only a 2-kill lead, and that shock rifle, despite the fact they have the weapon control and very comfortable positioning, it's not going to be enough. They're going to need a few more kills to really run away with this. Nice little connect there, but will not be enough. He gets taken down by a great push by Sceptify.
The angle that came in from Envore, though, to get onto those C stairs, to put those damaging shots in to allow his teammate to move across to take the shock rifle on the hand was really, really impressive. With that, XSET still have a 1-kill lead, though. 5 seconds until this camo is about to pop as well. Envore falling and Juziro falling, though, is going to mean the camo is accessible to XSET.
Yeah, XSET looking better and better now, extending that lead all the way now. 4 for such a second, but now it's going to be 3 and have maintained their composure in this game. That's what they're going to need to do if they want to close out the series, but about to see Artic and Cratos find one there here at bottom A.
Still within 1 team fight, though. Both teams extremely close as far as the score is concerned. 28-32 the score. Artic trying to cover his teammate. Envore now making a sneaky play towards that camo. Sceptify's putting down the covering fire. Envore though loses the 1v1 to Cratos, who now has that sword in his hand, and he's looking for blood.
Cratos just trying to stay alive. He does pop. The camo will presumably die, but good news for them. They're going to be very happy with that burn, but Juziro now is going to have the sword fall in his hands, and it's only a 4-kill game.
SuperCC goes down to Artic. 4 kills still the difference. Suspector picks up yet another one. It seems at the moment when the standoff situation is there, at the moment XSET have the advantage. Envore tries to escape, but look at the push now coming in. Juziro decides to push!
Wow!
Manages to pick up one. I was questioning what the play was there, but it's worked out for now.
All the while, though, we got to get back over to the XSET side because they are now up by 7 here, 38-31. We'll go into a quick listen-in with this side of XSET.
I'm blue.
I'll see him.
Okay.
We have sword in lead, boys. We have two fucking swords in lead, bro. Let's chill.
Straight up, just chill.
I'm looking bottom mid. I'm just patrolling it. What's turbine?
If anything,
Make sure we're strafing and shit if you're in the open.
Hey, and another sword comes up in fucking 25 seconds. We have 3 swords.
I hear them. I hear
Really
them.
fucking nice right now.
I'm looking at you.
Yo, bottom angler.
Bottom angler, 2.
He's on the pit. Yo, guys, new sword in 15. New sword get 15. Let's get 3 fucking swords.
What's bottom?
Fucking Jedis.
I hear that.
Hey, go top A, go top A.
On center.
Get the sword on him.
Watch out, 2. Watch out, 2.
There's a sword.
Hey, 1 second.
Top A.
Live there, Donnie.
What was L2 somewhere?
L2 long. Just regen. Camel's up.
I can go for it. He's Washy. Right below.
Yeah, he's on.
Stupid fuck!
Nice, bro. Hey, get new sword. Get new sword, Lus.
Turbine.
Oh, that's the best listening we've had, just for the one-liner, the zinger that came in. Wait for the 3 swords. Let's play like Jedis.
Let's do it. That's absolutely. I think it was consistently always 3 expletive swords every single time. I will never forget the tale of the 3 swords. But 43-36 in this game, XSET has maintained a lead throughout that entire listening. It has been narrowed by just a bit, so they will need to play this carefully. And you could tell by their comms that they know that they need to play this carefully.
Let's see if Artic can play it carefully. He has a little bit of license here with the camo, but it disappears at just the wrong time for him. Juziro needs to hit that shock with a shock rifle if he's going to have an opportunity to get his team back into this game. 5 kills needed now for XSET. It's looking a long way away, though, for Fnatic.
It is now. Make that 46. Good angles here, good damage. You can assume that that push is going to be coming into collapse on top yellow as well.
It's looking like this series is going to be tied up at 1-1 as XSET have roared back in here. 4 kills the difference. 4 kills till we have that score on the board in the series. Envore picks up 1 though. And now you're going to see the push with the sword.
No!
He doesn't hit it! Oh, SuperCC does evade!
My God, I just caught on the ledge geometry there. I think we were all thinking the same thing. As long as this lunge doesn't catch the ledge, everything's going to be okay, but not over just yet. Still, XSET only 2 away, but 48-42.
2 away. Plasma pistol in the hands of Suppressed. Juziro picks up another one. We've seen some funny games of Slayer on this map recently. And I tell you what, this game ain't quite over yet. XSET have control, but Fnatic are clawing away. They're scratching away at that lead.
2 minutes
let
left.
me tell you, if a couple of kills fall here against XSET, there could be problems, but Suppressed makes the play.
And only 1 more kill to go. Camo in 10, but it probably won't matter. Might be the last one. Yes, indeed. Suppressed pops off. He's hyped. Finishes the game. Ties the series 1-1.
1-1 then. XSET hold their nerve at the end of that game. But it was the sword plays. All 3 of them in the hands
3
of
effing swords.
XSET. Yeah, I mean, yeah, there's a lot of jokes to be made, and I'm sure we'll work
I'm watching that one. We're watching that one back later.
Yeah, we'll work our way through them as the series does progress.
Swords. We can't quote it exactly.
We can't quote it exactly.
That's a risk to our careers for the HCS 2022 roadmap, but still a fantastic
maybe it'd be worth it. Let's turn our attentions back to the series, though. Fnatic find themselves tied up at 1-1. I was really impressed with XSET, though. I found their baiting and switching found a little bit of a rhythm in that game. It seemed like they were picking up that initial kill, but then managing to survive long enough for a teammate to always be there to assist with that player escaping. And one thing that was really noticeable as well, when they got 1, when they got 2, they were able to push. They were happy to push. They wanted to put the pressure back onto Fnatic that Fnatic were doing to them in map number 1.
Yeah, they really identified those opportunities where they needed to continue applying pressure. For example, when they were getting that damage. We'll take a look at some highlights earlier. Look at this from SuperCC's POV. He does eagle eye the camo, just like you said on set. It's a dangerous spot because they did actually head check it, and they found the camo mangler right away, and they win the battle with no trade.
They did indeed. Envore here gets taken down by Suspector, who again has just been hitting so many good shots. Here's another example of it. Just dancing around the pole. Hugely I'm not going to go there.
Yeah. Oh boy, that's a long time ago, Mark. It's in my past.
I'm so glad you changed careers. But SuperCC here did manage to evade with that sword towards the end of the game, as this was a play from Suppressed. And I want to give a shout out to Suppressed here as well, because as we know, one of the newer players to the top level of play, been picked up by this roster to win close games when you're the player making plays and picking up the kills is invaluable for you moving
I
forward.
think he ended up with 19 kills there in the end there. It's a wild stat line when you win the game 50-43. Next, we're going to Oddball live fire for our game number 3, and we're tied up 1-1.
We are indeed. Now, this is the kind of map where I feel like Fnatic, maybe with the pace at which they play, could give XSET some problems. However, with XSET growing in confidence here, picking up that big win with the like of Suppressed, picking up all of those kills as well, maybe this is their time to shine. It is on a knife edge, this series. And just to repeat one more time, if you're wondering why this is such a highly pressured series for both of these teams, for all 8 players on our main stage here in Anaheim, the winner will obviously stay alive in the tournament, the loser will go home, but not only that, the winner will qualify for pools in the Kansas City Major coming up soon. The loser, I got to go through the open bracket.
I mean, and what a piece of confidence for your team, for your organization, right? These players have dedicated this year and presumably many years to competitive Halo Infinite. To be able to come home from this event and say, okay, when we get home and practice, we're doing that already in pools. We are among the best and we're ready to go. But instead to come home and say, we got to start from scratch, I mean, it's a very different mindset over these next few months.
It certainly is indeed. And I just want to give a little shout out to, I know I've talked a lot about Fnatic, and we have talked a lot about Fnatic on this broadcast, but it's understandably so, right? Former Team War being picked up after the good performance that they had in Raleigh, a lot of belief put in them by Fnatic, who took their time to pick their roster.
Yeah.
And it did take their time to pick their roster.
They certainly did.
But it's worked out for them. And I think just from this performance alone, that this Fnatic lineup is going to gain a lot of fans, a lot of traction. Yeah. People are going to want to watch this team succeed. And that man on your screen, he's made a fan out of me, let me tell you that.
He absolutely has. Envore has popped off. Been seeing this man. Clips to him going wild. All of his tweets going wild as well. Make sure you give the man some love. And if you're a fan of the Fnatic roster, here's what's in my head on set. You do not, obviously you don't want to see this team go home, but you specifically don't because of what they did against C9. Yes. There's so much potential here. And after that C9 series, right, they could have easily been in winners, and it would not have been insane to say that they could have won the tournament from the winners bracket.
Without doubt.
After what they did against C9. So if you're a Fnatic fan, and especially if you're on the Fnatic side of the stage, you're thinking, we cannot go home right now. There is so much potential for this weekend. We just took the best team in the world to 5 games and blew a 10-kill lead. There's so much more Halo to play.
It certainly is. And it's not only that, there's the potential matchups against the likes of Optic, the likes of Sentinels are on the other side of the bracket. There is so much more Halo for these guys to play and maybe cause some more upsets. But on the other side of that stage, speaking of upsets, there's one team who love to do it. It's going to be XSET. And they're going to want that same story, Andy. It's not like one side of the stage is like, oh, we're thinking about that. XSET are thinking exactly the same thing here. If we win this series, we can take out Optic, we can take out C9, and we can get a little bit of revenge on Sentinels for what they did.
They need this so much. It's crazy just how much pressure is on these players. Like we talked about, of course, all of the Kansas City stakes, but even this weekend, you've got a team on one side of the stage and the other side of the stage. One of them is going to go to bed this evening, knocked out of the tournament, and they're going to wake up on Championship Sunday not in the tournament. It's a terrible feeling, and I'm not kidding. We've seen many players book flights home immediately because they can't stand the idea of waking up on a Sunday morning and you're not in the tournament. I mean, you can imagine these players put their heart, their soul, their lives into this, that you do not want to be in that scenario. And one of these two teams is going to find themselves in that exact spot.
Well, you can see on the stage that the XSET players have returned after a little tactical timeout, a little break, and a little chance to reset here. Maybe just trying to put Fnatic on a little bit of ice as well, making them think about everything that went wrong in that last game instead of everything maybe that went right a little bit earlier on in the series. Little things like that can play into the mind games, and hey, we know that, you know, the question was asked to Cratos, why do you think you get under the skin of players? And he was like, I don't know, man, like, I can't give you an answer. I think he knows.
I think he knows, absolutely. And Suspector on that side, as we talked about, highest KD in North America, 1.43 coming into this event. Pretty impressive numbers. Going to see if they can connect the dots and continue to put some wins on the board. Keep in mind, if you're just joining us, Fnatic's Game 1 win, not a comfortable win. It was a double overtime win that they had to work their way through to get that final flag on the board. But got to think, XSET looked a little bit more convincing in their game number 2. If we look at the 2 wins these teams have had, I think XSET fans are going to be pretty happy with how Game 2 went and how they were losing by about 2, around the 10-kill mark. From there on out, they did not look back.
Yeah, I think not only happy with the way that they won Game 2, but the way they responded after Game 1. You quite rightly say, you know, it was a close game, it was a double overtime game, but if you look back at it, maybe it shouldn't have been so close with the amount of control that Fnatic did have. But that's history. And now we're tied up at 1-1. This is an opportunity for either XSET or Fnatic to put themselves in the lead in this series. It's time to head over for live fire for a little bit of objective work for these teams to think about. Slayer is on the back burner for now. Let's see who can take that lead in the series.
We have seen the most recent scrim results. Strongholds games were pretty close. Both did go to Fnatic, but they were both one within 20 points, and I believe the other within about 40 points. So here we go, game number 3, series tied 1-1.
Envore POV, something that a lot of fans of Fnatic that have been picked up over the last maybe even couple of hours, not even couple of days, are going to be enjoying right now. Suppressed is going to be picking up the kill though, continuing his confident run from the end of that last game. 2 kills fall in the favor of XSET, and my word, Suppressed, I tell you what, he looks warmed up now.
There was 2v2 off the opening, but shots like that from Suppressed, I think, are going to impress just about anyone watching these matches here, and might even get away as well.
Suppressed trying to just survive for now. Nobody able to get their hands on the Oddball. And now we have a 4v4 across the map once more. SuperCC in a battle. Suspector's going to win it though. Juziro's going to have that camo in his hands as well. But look at this. He's been sniffed out by XSET, taking him down. 3-4 for Fnatic. Surely now XSET will have that ball, but Envore is on the flank.
Dude, Envore, last guy alive with the sniper in hand. He's doing it all. He's going to drop that. He's going to rotate ball. He has the sniper in his hands. Just leave it to Envore because he has rotated the ball and the snipe back here to the garage.
I feel like that's a slogan I'm going to be buying on a t-shirt at some point. Just leave it to Envore because the man has been playing some lights out Halo. Would have been a perfect time to increase those t-shirt sales if he managed to hit that shot. But look at this position coming in from Sceptify.
Might not even have moved yet. Might still be on that ledge. We don't even know. Finally, it looks like he will picked up a few kills in the feed. And he gets away. He's still alive down bottom middle.
He's still alive. XSET lose 2 players as well, but they do have the Oddball in hand. Fnatic with a very, very slim lead at the start of this game. Sceptify picks up 1. There's a heat wave, but it's not connecting in the way that maybe it doesn't. There's Sceptify. That's officially the Sceptify ledge.
Somehow he's still up there. Finally also gets taken down by the heat wave in the end. But what we're seeing here on set off of the break, and I don't think it's surprising, is really slay heavy and scrappy style Oddball. Based off the objective we saw in game number 1, I think we can expect that for all 2 rounds, maybe 3 rounds.
Leave it to Envore. There it is. He puts a bit of order back in this game. Camo going to be popping as well, but you're completely right, Andy. As Artic picks up 2 kills, it's another great indication of just the scrappy nature of this game. No one has had map control yet. It's just been, hey, let's move towards the Oddball. Let's see what happens. Whoever wins gets another few seconds on the board. Cratos maybe can restore some order, though. He's got camo. He's got sniper. Only 1 bullet to work with. Not going to make it work.
Tries to connect there, wisely just drops it though. Uses the shot so we can get the Manguard camo back in action, and that will help in a battle over here on the pipes as well, 17-12.
17-12, and the first time we've really seen any element of control on the map here. The
And
Oddball will be played. Just as I say that, of course. I think they call that the commentator's curse, as Suppressed now will have the heat wave in his hand. Manages to clear out tower. Now there's an opportunity to get a proper setup here. There's a lovely little drop wall just arranging the defensive lines here, Cratos, to make sure that his teammate is given that little bit of extra cover on the cross here. The first time we've seen a setup, and look at the score because of it.
Very nice play from Cratos there. You might think it's just a little bit extra, but many times we've seen a ball carrier die from that angle, and you do not want to give away that death for free. Juziro, though, gets the best of Cratos and unable to get away. 2 dead now for the side of Fnatic.
Importantly, full time being racked up here by XSET. 43-12 the score. Every single POV we go to is another player falling. Artic might be the next as well, but the Oddball off the map. So XSET with that hole will be very, very happy with the way that the score is looking right now. Cratos taken down. Now Fnatic have kills in their favor. Can they get a setup of their own?
Wise pre-nades there on the scoreboard over. Look at this, the dummies and the overshield push that's already coming in from the outside. Juziro actually going to change the rotate here all the way back to the base. Cratos is going to be waiting for that one.
Yeah, it's a difficult situation for Juziro to have to play because of the fact that players were falling at different situations and different locations across the map.
Yep, it's that XSET pressure. Perfect. They're pushing in dummies, they're pushing in power perfectly, and thought that maybe on the Fnatic side, they thought they'd get away with a house rotate because they were assuming that was a full commit, that was a full push all the way over, but instead, Cratos was ready for that push into the house.
Suspector picks up 1, Suspector picks up 2. SuperCC picks up a camo, but he's going to get a little tap on the back. But it's Cratos who gets taken down. That is the definition of a reversal there. Doesn't
great nade from
lead to too much, though. As you say, a great nade is going to take him down to make sure that that call-out is responded to perfectly. Looking again at the stats, it is Suppressed 11-6. And the second most objective time as well for his team.
Yeah, Suspector also in that main Slayer role, 13-8 right now, 62-22 though. And XSET going to let that ball reset and just try to roll and patrol around here with the heat wave.
Fnatic being outslayed at the moment in this game, which is why you're seeing the score as it is. Three players, oh my god, they pounded him.
Oh my. When you talk about dogpiling onto a player and having some good team shots, Suppress doubles back, and that might be the fastest player I've ever seen die. And what the? The man is skeet shooting out here.
Hey, I know he's been playing like a god, but there's no way that you can fall from the heavens and hit the shots that you need to survive that kind of situation. SuperCC though, maybe that was the greatest play ever from Oddball. Leave it to Envore. Because they managed to get this ball back to tower. They have the spawns coming in from XSET towards the dummies, and they have a setup here with SuperCC with the ball in his hands. Look at the score, 62-36. This hasn't got out of hand yet for Fnatic. XSET still don't have that kind of commanding lead that maybe they're looking for.
That's right, and especially when you talk about a team like Fnatic, they are very much in this one. They know what they need to do, trying to pick up all the kills they can. Ball hasn't been played yet though, so leave it to Envore. What can the man do from down low?
1v1 here on the tower. You can see that Suppressed has got the heat wave though, so he's going to have an advantage as far as weaponry is concerned. Looks like the player from Fnatic decided just to take his time, maybe take a little bit of a different route, but he's been sniffed out here, but it's a Mangala, but that doesn't matter. However, the stick does come in for that exchange. 2-4 for Fnatic. Only one down here for XSET. Artic with the ball in his hands.
Now is the time we start to watch the game timer as well. Minute 16 on the clock. As a reminder, that clock will freeze whenever the ball is held, allowing for some pretty wild comebacks if you can have consistent control. 79-43 and 1 minute 16 on the clock.
82 points and rising as well. Artic, he's got the odd ball in his hands, and I tell you what, Sceptify has to go. He has to make a play. He has to go forward, but he's going to get spotted out. He gets body shotted as well with the sniper rifle. Artic looking to clean up the kill, and I tell you what, you can see the paranoia that's on the faces of XSET now. They know there's a camo player around, and he picks up 2 kills. The odd ball was played though. That means that this is not over yet. XSET recognize the situation. Sceptify still making plays though.
Wow, Cratos there thought about trying to pull out a hero move with that sniper. Nice little double back. Oh my god, he picks up this kill. Bodies Suspector, almost gets away with it too, Sceptify. Look at the scoreboard though, 88-43 now. Points still ticking.
All these plays being made. Here's Envore. He gets taken down as well. Once again, the XSET dogpile has been the secret to success. Somehow, everyone's alive. They have the ball in their hands. They need 10 seconds of ball time. SuperCC needs to go huge, but it's the Mangala of Suspector and the combination work with Artic that holds strong here for XSET.
I'll tell you what, Fnatic did not get the memo. It's a house party, and that's where the final points are going to go down. 100-43 will be your first round in game number 3. XSET on the board.
XSET looking good as well. Looking across the statistics, and you can see the man on your screen, Suspector, is stepping up in a way that maybe Cratos was talking about, and we expected. #1, like you mentioned, in North America for KD, is starting to show in those stats.
It certainly is, and now the man is ready to play, and you know, they're going to be fired up here. They want nothing more than to go up 2-1 in this series. It's a great first round and a great first close for the side of XSET.
3 dead for the Fnatic off the break as well. Suspector goes for the ball, but there's a player still being sneaky bottom middle, but once again, every time we're seeing XSET POV at the moment, don't worry about holding angles, because they're just running next to each other as Suppress picks up a triple.
He is the gun runner. He'll pick up 3. Now looking even for the 4th. He's going to find even more players. Assist comes in. And my God, just wreaking havoc here, but only 15 points on the board through all that.
Artic still has the ball in hand though, and that camo is still up. It looks like SuperCC will pick it up.
Maybe rotate instead of play.
Pop it into his body, but you're completely right.
Yeah, absolutely. He has a little bit of help. Probably going to hold on Nest and might be forced to... Actually, yeah, he's going to force this rotate, but now SuperCC is behind him.
Pressed. I thought he spotted out the camo player, but no. It will be Sceptify and SuperCC who do manage to survive, and not only that, get the kills, and the ball was not played. Yeah. So the risk of the rotation there from Nest towards green, if you don't quite make it across to get that play ball, then you can lose that ball and time goes to the hands of Fnatic.
It's so hard. If you're planning the Nest rotate and the other team has camo, you're not going to be able to find that player. It's almost a free break for SuperCC. In the end, the ball will fall once again, though it will stay over a green. Now it will finally be played at the score of 26-18.
Suspector finds himself a sniper rifle, though. 2 falling here for Fnatic, still in that respawn screen. Envore going to be back on the map now. But Artic's going to be combining with Suspector here to make sure those numbers stay in the favor of Fnatic. Of XSET. Another push going to be coming in. There's a Mangler. The shot didn't connect, the beatdown did, so the shield's broken. Suspector still staying alive though, doing such a good job of playing his life. I'm sorry, Suspector. And I said that because he falls just as I finish the sentence.
3 dead here for the side of XSET. Should be some good time on the board for Fnatic. An opportunity that, once again, we talked about that angle from the bottom pillars. Yeah, that's the reason why Cratos threw down that drop shield, just because it can be such a deadly angle. And now your ball carrier is so weak and unable to fight. But the shields will be recharged as a lead change. Fnatic now go up 33 to 26.
It seems like it's been all XSET so far in this second round as well. But like you mentioned, it is a lead now to Fnatic. So Scrappy has been the kind of flavor of this game so far, if you can call that a flavor. But Cratos now has the ball in his hands, and this is where XSET got their time before, when they got this tower set up.
Lead change once again, back and forth. It's been a fantastic day for Oddball fans with back and forth tug-of-war game types here coming in on every single Oddball match. It feels like that we've even seen. They'll be up 39-34, but Cratos drops because he knows he needs to slay out back pillars.
Got some help here from Suspector as well. The duo working well together. SuperCC, he'll be eliminated as well. Artic in the feed once more. Envore last alive, but only for a few seconds as Fnatic find themselves 4 dead. The ball is going to be passed off to Cratos. He likes a bit of football, Cratos. Calls himself like the Lionel Messi of Halo.
He does, number 10.
You can't use your hands, though, in football. He can use it in game, though.
That's true, and he's thankful, though, because I think the Spartan boots get really difficult to navigate on the pitch. Now, nice kills still coming in for Suppressed, and XSET's going to be the first one to hit that 50-point mark in this round as well.
Suppressed is playing some great Halo here as well. He's 10-5. But it's not just 10-5 in the fact that it's a 10-5 where he's not influencing the game. It is every kill is a hold. Cutting off a lane, stopping a push from Fnatic. And the amount of times he's been in position to clean up the final 2 players and does so.
Insta?
He's been so good at it. Now he's going to look to pick up yet another kill to add to the tally. There's the beat down, and there is that kill.
The man is on the board in a big way. Like you said, 12-6 already in this one, and that is going to pave the way for them to be up 69-38 here. And when you have a player doing what he's doing, it makes it pretty easy to grab this ball time.
Yeah, no play ball coming in from Fnatic. Another little mistake objectively from them. And now you can see the Suspector was looking to move that ball towards the nest, but Sceptify now comes in with a double kill. He cleans out the tower. Juziro moves in now. Sceptify, after the work he did in the slays, now has the Oddball in his hands. And if they can hold, we might see a lead change, but it's just trades across the board in the kills.
Yeah, Suspector did whatever he could to just get that ball down to bottom tower so that it wasn't up top tower. You have to wonder, though, maybe it's better in that situation to either play it or leave it top tower, right? Because it's a lot harder to get all the way back up, so it might cost them a few points on the board. Just like that, it's a 10-point game.
10-point game, like you say. 3 minutes left on the game clock as well. There's a beat down for the Mangler Suspector. Gonna win that one and might be able to pick up the Oddball as well as 3 players fall for Fnatic. They bring this one back to the tower and say to Fnatic, hey, we're ready to hold once more. What have you got?
Yeah, here we are, 20 points left on the board, and they're going to continue putting time on. You got Artic with the B spawns. Presumably a rotate here is an option for Suspector, and he knows it.
Maybe you could just throw that ball out as well and use it as bait, because Fnatic need to get ball time. Oddball picks up 1. Instead of bait, it's just going to be thrown off the map. It's the safer play there from Suspector. Good experience in that pressure situation.
If my ball carrier can play the ball and get a kill when he plays the ball, that's a beautiful kill. That will put them in a great position here. 1 dead for each side.
Heatwave in the hands of Artic as well, just trying to cause as much carnage as possible. Bottom middle. Pressure coming in from those frag grenades, though, means that he will fall. 2 fall for Fnatic once again, though. That's been the story of this game so far. Fnatic have not been able to match the slays of XSET.
Not at all. Envore now trying to push on Suppressed as well. We said 1 dead for that Fnatic side. It's a kill you'd expect Envore to get. He's able to get that, maybe 2 on the scoreboard.
His challenge.
Well, he gets it there. Leave it to him.
Leave it to Envore. Right, I'll tell you what, if you leave it to Envore in this situation, maybe it might be a little bit too much to do. They've got that ball in their hands, though, Fnatic. 88 points on the board here for XSET. Now, if XSET managed to get 1 break,
look at that play from Suppressed. Look at that angle. It's a beautiful play from Suppressed from the other side. Just flies all the way past power up. And Envore, maybe I think Envore needs to shoot there, you know, because his ball carrier is coming in that sideline. And they're going to lose a player because of that.
SuperCC picks up a kill top middle, though. You can see, once again, it just looks a little bit disjointed here, this game type from Fnatic. Had an opportunity there to set up, to clear some lanes, but just a little bit of second guessing coming in. There's a repulsor play coming in inside of the garage. Sceptify is going to be taken on Suppressed, but the man is just absolutely decimating in this game. He's finally taken down. XSET now will find themselves on the back foot. 3-4 for them, but where's the Oddball? Fnatic now trying to move in. Envore picks that one up. SuperCC is there to help.
Oh, look at SuperCC. He's actually going to run away with this here. And now go ahead and see what he could do. Yeah, look at that.
Swans at green here. So it's almost as if a setup is naturally formulated here for Fnatic with those players being located towards green. Suspector picks up 1, though. Now they've got to think about a rotation. Cratos is going to pick up 1. XSET find 3 players from Fnatic, and now SuperCC He's trying to bait the oddball, but you get the feeling he's going to have a nasty moment happening in just a few seconds.
Yeah, they were not letting that one happen around the corner, but we are essentially tied up here now, 89 to 83. XSET only need 10 points.
3 players alive for Fnatic. You got to go, and you got to go now if you want to have an opportunity to keep this game alive. They do go. They go hard and they go fast. 2 players do fall on the backside of it, though. Suspector says, hey, all this fighting's cool. I got the oddball in my hand. I'm going to run away from the battles. I'm going to pick up the win for my team as XSET go up 2-1 in the series.
Team is popping off. Cratos is jumping up as well. He's pumped. The team is ready to rock. And after a dominant game 2, they find themselves with a very, very good performance in game number 3 as well. On the other side of the stage, though, very different spirits.
Oh, 100%. Fnatic completely broken, it looks like, at the moment. And understandably so, because XSET dominated that game. They never looked like they were under pressure. It always looked like they were in control of the game. And one thing that I love is, like, all of a sudden it smiles on the side of XSET. They love taking games off of teams who are being talked about for their great performances.
And you know what Cratos was just popping off about? He's looking at suppressed stats. You hear him saying, oh my God, he might be able to read some of the lips there, but he was hyped when he saw that final scoreboard, just saying, oh my God, there's only one thing he's looking at, it's the PGCR, and he's looking at what Suppressed did in that game. And you know, Cratos, you love him, you hate him, either way, he's going to hype up his teammates and get them fired up for what could be the final game.
Yeah, it's one thing you want, right? If you've put on a big game, you've put up big stats, especially if you're a new player to the main stage, to have an experienced player looking over it going, you're popping off, you are popping off. It just fills you with belief, and that's just not popping off, by the way. There's a new word for that. That is suppressing the other team. 41 and 22 for suppressed. That is a big boy stat line.
Look at the KDA category. There's one of these is not like the other, and that is going to be suppressed 22.3 KDA. As you said, it's a 40 bomb plus 41 and 22, and that is why Cratos was getting loud. And you know what I love is Suppressed. That tells you one thing. Suppressed during that game never said anything about his kills, never said anything like, okay, I'm trying.
Dropped nearly 10K.
My God, huge numbers from Suppressed.
Yeah, sorry to jump in there.
No, I'm just as excited as you are.
You know what I mean? I almost saw it, 10K. I haven't seen that for quite some time, especially on the main stage. Not since I played with you in matchmaking. I know that you can put up those big kind of numbers, Andy. But let's take a look at these replays now from the series. And it is going to be mostly just the POV, you would imagine, of XSET. It was just them winning the battles the majority of the time and having the ability to control what was a scrappy game. But when it was scrappy, one thing that always stood out to me, as we see once again the play from Envore as he does his best Michael Jordan kind of hovering through the skies looking for the slam dunk. But one thing that stood out to me is when they made a play call hit XSET, it was always committed to. We saw 3 players at certain points running onto a last player alive to make sure that they cleaned out those areas. That was the difference.
It really was. Take a look at more highlights here. This was towards the end of that round, and just great stuff once again from the entire side of XSET. I mean, what else are you more? Excuse me, what more can you ask for? Look at this play. Here's Suppressed though. What else can you more? Suppressed though just peeks down, hits that nice little shot, and makes sure to clean out the little bit of wait and bait attempt from from SuperCC is not going to come through. And in the end, XSET with 2 rounds to 0, they will close out game number 3.
I mean, one of the stats that isn't shown in that game as well is height gathered by one player. Because I mean, in those replays, I've never seen a man. I
mean, repulsoring off of C-Plat, he was, you know, we saw it yesterday. We did see a repulsor play coming in on live fire once again, where you take to the skies to try to get an angle.
Big Gilk making the play.
It was Gilky on G2. It did not work out for Envore that time, but we'll have to see what Envore and co. on Fnatic have in store for game number 4, because they are 1 game away from a lot of things. Elimination from this tournament, a really terrible night, and open bracket in Kansas City, but XSET 1 game away from all 3 of those not being true.
Yeah, and on top of that, I'm not just kind of...
Oh gosh, what else?
Pile some misery onto Fnatic. Yeah. Just it raises the performance against C9 as well. It becomes almost irrelevant, right? Because of the fact that they haven't been able to capitalize on all of the hype, all the success, everything that went right in that series by just losing the next one here to XSET. For XSET, you gotta close it out there now, Andy. We've seen some crazy game 5s already today. Fnatic were involved in one of them against C9. They don't want to go there again. If you're XSET for Fnatic, maybe they want another shot at that game 5, and maybe they want to see if they can turn around their fortunes.
And here we go, scary stat. You just saw 42 assists per game on average on Streets. Of course, that's not a Slayer average necessarily. We'll have to see exactly how this plays out, but XSET with some very good team shooting on this map without a doubt. And can it pay off for them? Can they close this series out in 4?
Well, Streets is where the game and the series will be decided. It's 2-1 now to XSET. Fnatic need to send this to a game 5 to keep their tournament hopes alive. For XSET, it's a chance to send Fnatic home. Suppressed, the man who impressed in that last game.
4 dead right away off of the break. Suspector shake of the head there with the Bulldog. Great work. It's also going to mean a rocket grab for Cratos. By the way, we did see this game type played in scrims. Fnatic narrowly won it here. We'll have to see how this plays out. Triple cap immediately.
Triple cap immediately. Rockets in the hands of Cratos as well, and he's just baiting this stronghold. He picks up 1, he picks up 2. And that's 3 dead again for Fnatic. Make it 4.
Oh my God.
That's 4 dead back to back at the start of this game, number 4.
The time elapsed overall where Fnatic has been alive or dead is about 90% dead. That's back-to-back, dying back-to-back off of the opening of a game in Strongholds. You are in deep trouble. Triple cap continues 50-0.
Talk about big trouble. This is the deep waters here for Fnatic. This is where you learn a lot about a team, and at the moment, it looks like the game plan isn't quite in place. They managed to at least get a hold of B, but XSET are aware of their position now. Fnatic are trapped over at B. They're trying to make a play towards A. It looks like SuperCC will be in position to maybe convert that, but as I say, look at the feed. Artic stopped it, and maybe there'll be a chance for a reset to come in.
2 dead for Fnatic once again. Somehow, though, they are able to get A and B off of all that, so Suspector, the man who needs to make sure to control this middle of the map right now.
Gets taken down. Bulldog is going to be down outside of tires as well. SuperCC looking to put the pressure onto Suppressed. And Suppressed does a great job of actually converting that back into the favor of XSET. 74-5 the score. And at the moment, Fnatic look like they're on the ropes ever so slightly. They're not picking up the kills they need to. Maybe now, if they can clean up this kill, the numbers advantage will be a way back into this game.
Yeah, there we go. Finally getting 2 dead. All 4 players of Fnatic are alive, so they're going to have their eyes on C. But pressure comes in right away from Suppressed.
However, those spike grenades are going to slow things down for just a second. But look at that, just unrelenting pressure coming in from Suppressed. That is a confident player carrying over the confidence from that last game's performance.
2 dead for Fnatic once again. Every time I look at the right side of the scoreboard, it feels like there are at least 2 players dead on Fnatic. It is 91-5. We talked a lot about Envore making some fans this weekend, but also on the other side of the stage is Suppressed, making a name for himself big time here in Halo Infinite.
Suppressed just putting on a show at the moment. Suspector doing likewise. Looking at the stats, it's Suspector who sat at 7-2, Suppressed at 5-3. But more importantly, the only stat line that matters is the score. That is 107-5 here for XSET. They're going to be converting B, but they also have Fnatic trapped at C.
Look at the push here. Look at the cohesion from the side of XSET. They're flying in together. Suppressed is a man with a plan here on the hunt, just trying to sniff out anyone who might be around.
My goodness.
Finds the kill. That's the second time that Suppressed has essentially solo pushed C and then won the battle there for his team. He's not done yet, picking up all the kills that he needs to. It's 128-5.
Fnatic are just being strangled in C at the moment. They cannot get numbers back on their side. Finally, SuperCC will that kill. It's going to allow his team to move up towards B. They stem the bleeding and they start scoring. That's an important thing to do here for Fnatic, just for confidence, let alone the score in this game. They need to believe there's a way back into this as SuperCC flies into C for the reset.
They'll hold BC for just a second here, and now going to be 3 dead, though. Juziro, the only player for the moment, so presumably they will have to reset. B is going to come in for the side of XSET, and we'll have to see what Fnatic can do. As we saw in scrim results, we saw them win this game, but narrowly, but this has been a very, very different game in tournament play on the main stage.
Juziro just taking that middle lane, and that will be a flip of A and C now going to Fnatic. They need to jump into B as soon as possible. That's exactly what they're doing. Fnatic starting to find a little bit of rhythm now. Finally, making some decisions and committing to them. There's a little bit of teamwork coming in. Juziro on that flank to help out SuperCC. He picked up that double kill. XSET now trapped to A. You can see that ticking. Means they know where those spawns are coming in.
And let's not forget, Strongholds, it's a marathon. It is not a sprint. You need to play the entirety of the game, and they're thinking about teasing a trip cap here. They have BC, might even get the reset on A. 3 dead. Make that 4 dead. Fnatic is right back in this game. It's a trip cap, and you're going to see that scoreline get ever closer by the second.
And it's off the back of SuperCC's killing spree. So he's the man who started to heat up for Fnatic. He's been a player who really has put in some big performances for them as well today. He needs to put in the biggest one maybe of his career so far as Envore and Juziro are going to pick up more kills. Artic taken down, and I tell you what, a couple of minutes in a Halo game and how things look very different. C will be converted here. Cratos is still trapped at the back of the base, but he can live for as long as they want because A, B, and C are all in Fnatic's hands.
This is where we find out how bad Fnatic wants it. Talked a lot about this team over the course of the weekend, and now they need to win this to stay alive, to force a game 5, and also to see if they can hopefully get a pool play spot in Kansas City now, 110-133.
It's crazy how a game can look over just by the way that a team starts. It's not how you start in Halo Infinite, it's how you finish. A being converted. There is a player inside of B as well, but it looks like the play and the play call is on C from Fnatic. They're going to flip things here. Artic is going to be caught off guard, taken down to no shields, and more importantly, there is that reset, and all of a sudden, it was about a 100-point lead for XSET. Give it a few seconds, it's going to be a lead change here as Fnatic should take over B and take the lead.
It was just 110-5. Look at that run from Fnatic. If that doesn't tell you what you need to know about this roster, they're going to go ahead and take the lead now. They are here to play. Never count them out. Like we said, Strongholds a game that you can bounce back in. Fnatic a team that can bounce back. They've not only done that, they've taken the lead.
You get the feeling this series is going to be going all of the way to that game 5 if Fnatic can keep that pressure on, but one way to stop things is to pick up kills. That's exactly what XSET have just done. That was a 3 dead. They get control, but also the timing of it perfect. They now have the rockets in the hands of Artic 2.
XSET said not so fast. Once again, you're going to see a lead change on screen, and they're going to be ready to get right back in control, because I tell you what, they are probably pretty upset about the run we just saw. As a double make it a triple for Artic there. Beautiful play in tires.
He's looking to move into B as well. That kind of play could change your fortunes. A and B converted. C as well is currently in the hands of XSET. It looks like Fnatic are making a play towards it though to convert it, but it's been stopped. At the last second, it gets converted though. Juziro makes that play. Artic though in position to add another kill to his tally.
Fnatic social media manager was finger on the trigger with the memes about game number 5. Hold the phone. Not so soon. XSET wants to end it right here. They want to end it right now. Killing spree for Artic.
And it's been 2 players, right? Killing spree for SuperCC that turned it back in the favor of Fnatic. Then a killing spree now for Artic that's tipped those scales back into the favor of XSET. A triple cap again now. The lead's starting to extend. We're getting into those deep waters, Fnatic. What have you got?
Artic here with a combo of Disruptor and a Microwave at hand. Does a lot of damage on both players. That's going to help as they're going to continue to hold on B.
Cratos picks up the kills as well. Damage being dealt by Artic. He's playing some phenomenal Halo in the last couple of minutes. 212 and rising to 147 the score here. Fnatic need to do something, and they need to do something now. It's so easy to get drawn into that trap though of going for Strongholds, Annie, when you need the kills.
Suppressed there. Very wise to just not peek one last time. Instead, just lock down AB. They're going to continue scoring. Look at this. It's 223 to 147. We were just tied at 130, and XSET has answered back with a huge swing of their own. They're 20 points away from taking the game and the series.
Pressed, working with his teammate Artic again. Kratos picks up another onto Juziro. Sceptify, last player alive, but manages to at least pick up 1 kill. Also manages to pick up another by the looks of things. Sceptify might be able to turn a triple. Maybe that's the way for Fnatic back into this game.
We'll have to see if they can. No room for error. 240 to 147. It will be Fnatic with control of BC. They will continue scoring once again, but as we said, no chance for any slip up here for the side of Fnatic. They need to maintain control. Only 10 points to go for the side of XSET.
Kratos trying to bait out these rockets. I love the play though, coming in from SuperCC, holding on to that rocket until he knew he could pick up a kill. With that, he's going to exchange the rockets out for the Sentinel beam. Kills going in the favor of Fnatic. Yes, XSET only need 10 points, but who's scoring? It's going to be Fnatic.
Look at SuperCC so confident. He does not go back up B stairs to help. He was confident that his team would get the B reset. That's exactly what happened. That allowed him to continue patrolling around bottom middle, but look at C.
Kratos has managed to sneak behind enemy lines here, and he's managed to jump into C, but as he does that, they won't be scoring for now because it's going to be Fnatic who are inside of A. They will get that conversion. 177 is the score for Fnatic, but now Suspector's inside of A. He's going to deal with this play. No! SuperCC makes a super duper play.
My God, and doesn't even trade. He stays alive at A as well, so this is getting absolutely crazy here with C getting converted and constant base trades back and forth.
Oh, B just about gets picked up, but as that happens, a huge 1v1 will be won by Suspector. Can he get away with his life though? XSET look like they're going to make the play to hold B for now.
Man, they just need a game plan. XSET needs to just lock on exactly where they want to go, how they need to push out. They only need 1 good push to win this game, but the game's just about within 50 points.
XSET making the play onto A. Kratos picks up 1, Suspector punches Envore in the face. Juziro picks up another, but here comes the push from Fnatic onto B. Here comes the hero play, maybe. Juziro gets taken down by Cratos.
Huge.
244 and rising, and that might be the game here. Cratos positions himself perfectly. The desperation play now coming in, but it's not enough as XSET clutch up in game number 4.
And popping off like you'd expect that they would. Jumping out of his seat is Cratos, going to be very happy with that. And Fnatic, a team that took the best team in the world to 5 games earlier today, will find themselves eliminated from the tournament. It's an early departure for the side of Fnatic, but XSET will continue on in this bracket. They will continue on in this tournament, and they will also lock in pool play for Kansas City on the other side of the stage. Fnatic will have to play through the open bracket at our next major.
They certainly were. And my one thought about Fnatic, I'm taking nothing away from XSET here, by the way. Amazing composure in those final moments of that game. How much did that C9 series a little bit earlier maybe take out Fnatic coming out on the losing side of that? But that's all excuses. That's all hearsay. There's one team we need to talk about, and that's XSET, the winners of that series. That was a really fun series to cover.
That was awesome.
I'm not gonna lie, that was a lot of fun.
We hope you guys enjoyed as much as we did, of course. Fantastic set of matches there between these teams, and each team with a few up-and-coming players who absolutely put on a huge show. But in the end, it's all about XSET. That's the team we're going to remember. That's the team we're going to see continue on in the bracket.